So here we go with today's recipe with Amy Van Der Merwe. Enjoy it.
Hi everyone, I'm Amy from An Earthen Life and welcome to my kitchen. We're outside today, it's such a beautiful day, and I'm going to be making my mom's Bran Muffins. So I have this old recipe book, and actually I see the covers by me. I'm the youngest of 5 kids, so it's an honor to be on the recipe book. So I have this old recipe. It was one of my recipes that I loved so much as a kid. It's Bran Muffins. My mom used to do it with raisins. I'm going to do it with some blueberries today because I've got them and they are just stunning. And I'm going to go through it. So instead of using sugar as well, I'm going to use some monk fruit. Monk fruit is a product from Soaring Free Superfoods, and it's just a really natural sweetener. You could also use something like maple syrup or honey or coconut sugar just to get away from that super refined sugar. So I'll give the recipe for the normal, the normal one with the sugar, and then I'll also give the recipe with the monk fruit that I'm going to use.
Fine.
Right, so I'm using 2 really beautiful farm fresh eggs. I'm going to just break them in here. I always just can't get over how beautiful and orange these egg yolks are. Just stunning. So I'm doing 2 eggs, and then I'm doing half a cup of oil. I'm using canola oil. You can use sort of whatever oil you like. And then I'm going to use the monk fruit. So this is extremely sweet. So I'm going to go with sort of 3/4 of a tablespoon. So that's about 2 teaspoons of monk fruit powder. I don't feel like these need to be very sweet. I also have the sweet blueberries, so I don't feel like I need to make them extremely sweet. You can also always add on some jam or honey afterwards if you feel like you want to. So there we go. I've just creamed my eggs, the monk fruit and the oil, and I'm going to add in the rest. So I've got 2 cups of digestive bran, and then I'm going to use 2.5 cups of flour. I would usually use a whole grain flour. This is an unbleached cake flour, but usually I would like to actually use a whole wheat flour and really make this extra good. I have not tried them gluten-free, but I'm sure they could be made gluten-free as well. Especially if you're using eggs, it's easier to make things gluten-free. When you're cooking vegan, it is a little bit tough, not impossible, but a bit tough to make things gluten-free because there's not much binding it together. So for now, I'm just going to use this normal cake flour, and then mix that together. Use half a teaspoon of salt and a little bit of vanilla essence. I'm going to use about a teaspoon of vanilla essence and 2.5 teaspoons of bicarb, which is just less than a tablespoon. I always tend to lose my measuring spoons, so I tend to eyeball things. And then I've got a cup of milk. I'm using soy milk. I do prefer to avoid dairy, so that's why I'm using soy milk, but you could use whatever milk you like. I do find in not using dairy, I find that soy milk is the best for baking. I find it to be the easiest when it comes to baking. Right, so it was a bit stiff. I added another half cup of milk, so that's 1.5 cups of milk. And this is a great consistency now. So I'm going to add in my blueberries. So I've probably got about a cup of blueberries or just less. So you could do raisins, you could do dates, and that would all be really, really delicious. And then I've got my baking tray, my muffin tin. There's only 6 in a tin here, but they're really big. So I'm going to do like this. But if you've got one with smaller ones, you could probably make about 10 to 12 of these. Okay. Oh, so beautiful. So it's nice to have these in the house. I don't know about you, but as my child is getting closer to 3 and running around constantly, she tells me she's hungry about 15 times a day. So it's really nice to have healthy snacks around that can just keep her going between meals. I try to keep extra of the meals that I make already so that she has a really good meal, and sort of she's more of a grazer these days. So yeah, but I just feel like it's really nice to have these healthy snacks around, and also to grab for a breakfast or something to take into town when you're going for a shop day. I live on a farm, so it's about an hour into town, and then by the time I get there she's always hungry, and then I don't find much in the shops that I'd really be happy feeding her. So these are a great one to have. I'm going to pop them in the oven. So I've filled mine nice and high. They're probably going to be huge. That sounds great to me. Keep her going for 2 meals maybe. All right, I'll pop them in the oven and show you after. Okay, here are my muffins. They're beautiful and brown on top, cooked all the way through. And look at them. Perfect for a healthy snack for your kid. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Please let me know how you enjoy it and if your kids liked it. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you so much, beautiful Amy. Those muffins look absolutely divine. I can't wait to try them myself. You always make it look so easy, but it is easy if you know how. So we are sharing the recipe. So definitely go try them out for your family. They will love you for that. Hope you enjoy that. Enjoy the rest of your day. And remember to eat your veggies, hey? And drink your water. That's what I'm doing. Take care, we'll see you next week. Lots of love.